Hello, are you out there? I'm Mark with Homebrew Fever Dreams. We're doing reviews today. We've got our very own Crunkers coming at us with the Way of the Adept Monk. Hey, I wanted to post some Homebrew now that things have been separated into two channels. That's right. We had to take the Homebrew reviews and move them away from the shorts and horror stories channels just because it's a very niche group of us that track this stuff. This is a great little subclass though, and I have a lot to say about it from our Crunkers. This one is a monk based on a video game I played as a kid called Majesty Gold Edition. Let's see, it's a pretty simple subclass, so it won't take long. Let's go. Now, it is a pretty short one. I'm just going to preface this by saying I think it's underpowered. However, I think that's very, very cool. I've done shorts about the idea of the strong enough hero type. Think The Mandalorian, right? This is this guy who's got this code of conduct. He's a good fighter, but he's not the most amazing dude in the world. A lot of times he's saved by little baby Yoda, right? Like, it's like he needs help. And this is that kind of character, a capable combatant, but a person that has to make the decision of when to fight, when to run. Yeah. So at any rate, if anyone has any feedback for Crunkers, by all means, drop them there over on the Reddit channel or here on YouTube, because I think this one has a lot of room for tweaking, because if anything, it is underpowered. So let's get into it here. Way of the Adept, base class monk. Followers of many gods of the wind and the moon, they hail from dry desert provinces. These monks use teleportation and speed magic in combination with physical strikes. You will often find adepts patrolling settlements, keeping remote travelers safe. They function as priests, traveling from tavern to tavern, protecting others and spreading the word of their gods. They're very loyal and will rush to the defense of the lowliest peasant. They do try to avoid fights they cannot win, however, and they often make tough decisions based on whatever that individual adept thinks is the greater good. They often work with local guards. So I almost think of it as maybe a ranger, right? Not just Aragorn's Dunedain rangers who help patrol the ancient Aenor, right, to the northern parts of Gondor that have been lost to the control of the Gondorians, or just in our more modern world, the wandering gunslinger, right, in the Old West, who's out there collecting bounties, and he's a lawman, but he's not officially a lawman, that kind of thing. So it's really cool. Or Mando, yeah, Mandalorian. That's what I think when I read it. So here we go. Wind Step. Starting when you choose this tradition at 3rd level, you can use your key to teleport. As a bonus action, you can spend 1 key point to cast Misty Step without providing material components. Yeah, I like that. The monk can use this to just get around the battlefield, to escape, to get up onto less inaccessible places, or to get down from a high place. A lot of versatility both for roleplay, adventure, and combat. So nice touch there. And with those key points, you can stretch it out pretty good. Here we go, the Tatib fighting style. Starting when you choose this class at 3rd level, you become more skilled with the quarterstaff. When wielding a quarterstaff, you have a +1 bonus to AC. Yeah, you're going to want to take that. In addition, when using the martial arts feature or flurry of blows feature, you can replace any unarmed strikes with attacks using a quarterstaff. So real quickly, Tatib is a Egyptian ancient stick fighting martial art, but I have also heard that it's attributed to much of North Africa, but it goes way, way back. So the idea with this is 1 stick, 2 sticks. Just using a quarterstaff makes it simpler for the mechanics, but I definitely think that you could explain what the Tatib is to your DM and maybe have them let you use 2 separate batons, 1 staff, 1 short baton, 1 very long staff, like maybe an 8-foot pole, 10-foot pole is your weapon. I think all those make sense within what we're trying to do here. But in general, it is very thematic of that Sahara Desert wanderer, right? The denizen of the desert out there fighting for right? Yeah, just doing what they can to help fellow travelers. Yeah. Burst of Speed. Starting at 6th level, you can use the Windlord's Blessing to spend 1 key point to double your movement speed for 1 round with no action required. That's nice. That would also allow you to then take the dash action. So say you're already moving at 35, 40 feet. You can then dash to 80, and then you can use the Burst of Speed to pump that up to, easily 160 feet in a single round. And I think at 6th level, that's pretty versatile. But as you see, given our 3rd level buy-ins and our 6th level bonus here, not a lot of combat related stuff. This is movement and that +1 AC, which is really obviously just intended to give you survivability while using your weapon of choice. See, the quarterstaff isn't meant to be a magnifier of the monk's power. The monk's body is already a weapon. Heads, elbows, feet, fists, knees, pseudopods off of an osmoid, whatever it is, they're all weapons. But this is just sort of an extra defensive feature using the stick fighting. Yeah. Let's keep going here. Blessing of the Moon. By 11th level, you have been blessed with a stronger teleport by the Marquis of the Moon. You can use your action to expend 3 key points and cast the spell Dimension Door, requiring no material components. Now, essentially, that's a 500-foot teleport. And you don't have to be able to see the other side. You just have to know what it looks like. Or I think it even says you can, if you can imagine, the room you've been in the past, you can get there. But in line with the theme of helping friendly travelers, being that roguish wanderer of the desert who helps where they can but runs when they need to, this is what I'd like to see. Dimension Door, but a special version of it where if you can teleport 1 additional person per key point beyond the 3, up to as many key points as you have. Now, Dimension Door already lets you take 1 willing person with you, but just envision this. It's very useful for your party in general. You've got your 3 or 4 other adventuring companions. You're 11th level. You're pretty strong. Flight's available probably to your party at this point. Why not be able to just ninja, adept monk your entire group into the fortress, into the place they need to get, or get them out of harm's way by being able to teleport them up to 500 feet away from a collapsing volcano or something. So I think, because again, I think you're dealing with underpower, I think it would be a nice little bump up. It would be unique to this class. And envision this: you're in a small farmer's compound, a sheep farmer, herder, and he and his family are going to be overrun by the Knoll horde coming in. You and your adventurers grab up the kids, a couple of the goats, the farmer and his wife and the grandmother, and you burn 15 key points and Dimension Door all of you out of there. It's that versatility. I mean, it'll be useful for your party no matter what. So it will be used, but that you could actually rescue an entire small village by yourself. That's pretty cool. So my idea, I would love to see it in there. And it really plays to this kind of savvy character who needs to know when to hit, needs to know when to run, because they are not the strongest. Crunkers did not beef this subclass up with a whole lot of extra firepower, folks. If you agree with me, disagree, give us some comments for feedback for Crunkers, please. I know you guys will. Here we go. Double Strike. It's 17th level. This is our capstone. Your quarterstaff, or sticks, is imbued with an enchantment that makes the first hit of the quarterstaff actually become 2 hits. The first time you successfully land a hit on a creature or object with the quarterstaff on your turn, you have in on, so I think we need to rework this double strike thing, Crunkers. Quarterstaff on your turn, always treat that attack as a critical hit. Now, for clarity, Crunkers, I am not sure if you mean that your first hit you will counts as 2 hits. Does that mean because you are saying that it automatically counts as a critical strike, or will it become 2 separate attacks? I don't think that's what you mean. I think what you're trying to infer is that it is similar to 2 hits by the fact that it is a critical strike. But clarification, please, because I could definitely see a player saying, no, every time I use my regular attack, I get to roll 2 attacks. It's 2 hits. is it or not? And in addition, in my first hit I land with my quarterstaff in any account is always going to be a critical hit, which is nice. That's a nice buff to damage. Yeah. So clarification, but ultimately, I think I would definitely play that. That is so up my alley. Good Lord. It's just, it's the kind of thing where it's like you're a good, tough hero and fighter. You have capabilities, but this is understated, if anything. You are the person who has to be smart. You have to figure out how to survive, do the right thing when you can. And that's a good lesson in life in general, folks. All right. If anyone watched, thank you so much. Crunkers, as always, appreciate your input. Take care.